Welcome to Community Power Radio. I am your host, Big Chino. This podcast was born to bring communities of color together to empower the youth of this generation, to learn the skills of self-reliance, entrepreneurship, business savvy by bringing community leaders, educators, and industry leaders and providing guidance, mentorship to our youth. A weekly podcast discussion session every Sunday night. The discussion will continue on our Community Power Radio Facebook group page after the show. I want to welcome you to Community Power Radio. I'm your host, Big Chino. Hey, I want to apologize this evening. I had a gentleman that's supposed to come on tonight. We're going to have King Swift 2.0 today. He had an overwhelming success last week on our show. Now, my apologies. The gentleman right now is busy doing something, so he texted me in advance and explained to me that he's in the middle of doing something. But if he can listen, he can observe, or can someone come on for him on their cell phone, just shoot me an email or a text message, and I'll have you come on and you can hold the phone and we can watch him doing what he's doing, and I can interview him while he's doing his thing at the shop if someone want to do that for him. But at this point, I want to say something right now. I want to take the time at this moment, in this somber moment here in the United States of America, to give honor and respect to the September 11 families on their loss on this day. Just understand, everybody know where they were when that happened 20 years ago today. I'm one of those. I was on my way to work when that happened. And a few years later, I joined the United States Armed Forces and I served my country in Afghanistan to avenge the people. Now, I have friends and many people who served and deployed. And so I want to give them respect and honor, and always give respect to the NYPD, the FDNY, the Port Authority, and everyone who lost their lives on this fateful day 20 years ago. So I want to give them respect. I want to give them love. And just don't forget that today is a unity day. Okay, regardless of what's going on or what's been going on since last election, we got to understand that on this day, 20 years ago, we all came together as a family, a United States family. So we got to take a chill, pause a little bit, and reflect on that, and let all the tribalism and the ignorance of who's a Democrat, who's a Republican, or whatever is going on, and who was in the White House less than a year ago. Let's throw that to the side. You got to understand that we have to come together as one people, and that's Americans. Okay? But at this point, I want to come on and apologize for the gentleman. I understand he's a little busy. I understand he's doing his little thing. He's an entrepreneur. We can't down that. And when you're doing what you need to do to make that money, I cannot down a man for trying to do what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put this up here. If you want to talk about something, you want to discuss something, you can call 702-879-5277 or shoot me an email. Go on social media. You can click, send a message, and I'll send you a link if you want to come on live via video. Hey, we can have a nice discussion of what you think about this day, fateful day, 20 years later. you want to come on, let me know. The lines are open. There's only one line, but I'll put you in here. And if you want to make it more interesting, you want to come on live on a video, come on live. It gives you someone to see who they're talking to. They can come on, ask you questions. We can go from there. See what I'm saying? So if you want to do that, come on live at any time you feel like it. So if you want to send me a direct message, you want to send me a text message, do whatever you need to do. You want to come on, I'll send you a link right now and you can come on and we can discuss it. But if you want to call, I can put you on the phone line right now. Now, I'm going to give you a little background, okay? I'm going to give you a little background about me. So I waited a few years before I joined the United States Armed Forces. I was prior military before that. I was active duty for 2 years before I joined the National Guard in the state of Arizona. And I served and deployed from 06 to 07. And although we didn't see too many things and we didn't do too many things, we helped a lot of people. Combat is nothing beautiful. It's ugly. It's very dirty, and it's the worst thing you can ever see about a human. But I will never trade anything of that, because the honor in here of wearing that uniform and putting sacrifices for that uniform and sharing my life to the men next to me and the woman to my right, my left, and coming back home after doing what we did for the people in New York and their loss, I feel grateful. Now, I'm retired now, not by choice. I was retired because I was medically retired because of injuries. But I would love to stay in, and I would have loved to continue what I was doing. But that, it happens like that. Some people can do it for 20, 30 years, and some people just do it for whatever little time they got. But I'm honored. You know what I'm saying? All I can say, I'm honored, and I take the time to thank the brothers that did not come home with us. My brothers in arms who didn't make it home with us, and I give them respect and love and prayers to their families, and all of those who served and never came home and gave the ultimate sacrifice. So I want to say that it's one of those things where you have to realize that we are one people. This ain't one nation of one certain type of people. There's a nation of migrants. I don't care where you came from Europe, South America, Africa, we're all Americans. And I'm going to say that to my last dying breath. I'm not going to stop to say that. So if we're here to break that nonsense, let's break it down, America. We're one people, and that's it. And when somebody messes with us, we go hard. That's how we go. We go real hard in America. Okay, so that's why nobody messes with us. Or they attempt to. You know how it is. They always try. They always try to come on and act a fool. But us in America, we handle business. We go out there and do what we need to do, because we, the people, control this nation. Okay? We only give the power to Washington because we choose to. But we, the people, have the power. So once again, if you want to come on to the show. Shoot me an email. The chat is open. You can send me a message at any time you feel like it, and we can come on here and we can discuss this. And hopefully by then, while we're talking, this gentleman can come on and I can set him up and get him all set up. So I am going to send a link. If you can click on it, great. If you cannot click on it, let me know and I will send it again. And that way, if anybody wants to come on, we can come on. We can talk about anything you like to discuss, because this time is allotted and the gentleman is doing what he has to do. But I'll sit here and try to wait for him to come on. So the link is up. You want to take a look at it? It's up to you. So don't mind me. I am looking down on my phone because I'm getting messages and things like that. People are on discussing things, but I am trying to find out who's trying to come on or who's trying to discuss what they need to discuss. But I'm looking at my phone. My apologies. Now, I have a show that's going to come on this tomorrow night. It's just going to be about the same time tomorrow night. We're going to be discussing the electoral voting power of the Black community and the minority community for the past election that just happened. So we're going to be discussing that. That's going to be a serious conversation tomorrow. If you want to come on and discuss that with us tomorrow, that is going to be something that we need to realize that here on the midterm elections coming up in less than a year from now, we need to get out there and we need to do what we need to do. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, because it's going to affect all of us. Because that crazy law they just passed in Texas, it's going to hit everybody. It's going to go nationwide. And if you're not paying attention, it's not just going to hurt the minority community. It's going to hurt everyone. And if you're not paying attention, the playbook is being played. The Nazi playbook is being played and you're not paying attention. You better pick up a book, better learn your history, or we're bound to repeat it. But right now, some people in this country, I'll say the minority in this country who wants to play this game is pushing this narrative. And they believe that, oh, there's so much fraud out there and there was so much stuff going on. Well, there wasn't. There wasn't. It was proven there was no fraud. So I'm telling people, wake up. This is bigger than what you think. It is just look at this little shiny thing over here, and they're doing stuff on this side of the building. So I hope you tune in tomorrow for that. And you understand that this is no joke. I mean, this coming up here within the next year and a half, it's going to get real ugly. And the powers that be are pushing this narrative so bad and so crazy that if you're not paying attention or you're not realizing what's really going on and you're watching Fox News, you're being lied to. You are being lied to. So I'm asking you to pay attention. Don't believe everything you see. And this right here is one of the biggest misinformation tools that they're using, because everybody looks at this like 200 times an hour. Okay. I don't care. You can't survive without having one of these. That's how it is in this day and age in technology. So I'm letting you know that if you don't get yourself out there, it is rough. So all I can say is be aware, be very aware. Now I gotta, and there's some people watching. I want to give knowledge to Mr. Larson. Thank you very much, sir. Berto, how you doing, sir? I know you're out there observing. But all I can say is get your stuff together, people. Realize that you need to use your voting power. Just because you say, oh, my vote don't count, it does count. If you didn't pay attention on the 2020 election, it does count. Every little bit of it counts. You may sit here that you say you don't have no power. You don't understand. You got power in your local elections. You have power in your regional elections. And definitely in the presidential election, you have superpower. But people have been preconditioned to not pay attention, to just ignore it, or just get involved when it's really, polarized situations. That's when they get involved. But you need to pay attention to who you elect into office, who's going to take control of your offices, who's going to represent you or represent your ideas of your community. But you got people pushing crazy laws like the abortion law in Texas that makes no sense. And last time I checked, separation of church and state, I think that was a constitutional law. But this law that was passed for abortion in Texas, man, people, it is crazy out there. How you gonna tell a woman what she can and can't do with her body? Come on, people. Y'all need to get your stuff together. Get your stuff together. Somebody's asking me a question, so let me go here and let me read this, and I'll fill you in what the question is. Okay, so somebody's asking me, can I speak on the atmosphere in America? How do I feel about that? Well, I'm going to say this like this, okay? In the past 4 years, before the past 4 years, it seemed like we were moving in the right direction. That's just my opinion. Now, you can prove me wrong or tell me otherwise. Hey, I'll take the criticism and I'll bow down if I'm wrong. But, before the past 4 years, everything was going in the proper trajectory. Everybody was getting along. Everybody was doing their thing. But in the past 4 years, we've gone almost 75 years backwards. And if you're not paying attention, everybody wants to put the ideology on what, our country should be like or would preferably like. But you need to understand, ain't nobody from here. The only original Americans is the Native Americans, okay? And they didn't get no say-so on who can come to their country. It was taken by force. So my opinion of all of this is, wake up. Ain't nobody 100% nothing, okay? Ain't nobody, hey, I'm this, I'm that. Everybody's mixed. Go pull a DNA test on yourself and you'll see. You're not 100% nada. I don't care who you are. I don't care how blonde hair, blue eye, or how dark and brown your eye, and who you think you are. Welcome to Community Power Radio. How can I help you?
Yes, I was invited on the radio show to Brother Jadid.
Hey, how you doing, sir? How you doing?
Big Chino?
Yeah, this is Big Chino, the host. Jadid didn't make it on the show. How you doing, brother? Brother didn't make it on the show this evening. He's a little busy, but I just have the lines open. We're just talking about, one of the questions that was put out there is, the ideology of this nation and the atmosphere in this nation at this point. How do we feel about that? What do you think about it?
I'm sorry, repeat that again.
People are asking what's the atmosphere in America and what you feel about it, and where we're standing at this point. What do you feel about America?
Oh man, right now, first I want to start off saying my name is King Webb. I'm calling from Phoenix, Arizona. And,
welcome to the show, sir.
To answer the question, thank you. To answer the question, I just think that right now, if we don't start getting closer to God, man, we gonna be in more trouble than we already are. It's happening right now that I truly believe that we are in the book of Revelations right now,
Right.
The way things are looking right now, I really believe that it's a lot. It's so much to explain, but right now with this virus and stuff going on, I truly believe it's just another form of control. That part, as far as everything else is going on, I truly believe that as people, we need to come together, and then as far as everything else goes, we shouldn't be forced to take a vaccine that we truly don't know nothing about. It's a lot, It's a lot, and I mean, the atmosphere is it's not like the atmosphere that you probably grew up in, Like, I was born in the 80s, And so it's like I got a chance to, see different things, and things were different back then, but now it's just very different. And as far as this atmosphere goes, I really pray for the children all over the world right now, because they're experiencing it the worst right now, They have to go to school and learn how to speak with people, be friends with people, all that other stuff, It's a lot. So that's kind of where I stand on that,
Yeah. I mean, I get your point. I get your point on that. I mean, I get it. But I'm gonna say this. And you brought in a point that it's a touchy subject with a lot of people. But I'm gonna be, the equilibrium here. Okay, everybody can choose not to take the vaccine. That's your choice. That's your personal choice. This is America. You can do whatever you want. But here's the problem. Here's the problem that I see. Okay, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate on this. Here's what I see. We're trying to get to the normalcy here in America. Okay, and you got. I'll say 60% or I'll say 50% of the people in America have been vaccinated. Right now, the surge that we're having in America are people who have not been vaccinated and choose not to wear a mask. It is so simple just to put a mask on and have respect for other people and say, hey, I'm going to wear this just because I don't want to get you sick. My concern is I have a small child. Okay, I'm vaccinated and I chose to be vaccinated because I'm a high risk person. Okay, but I'm more worried about the children. You got governors in this country who
Yeah.
are choosing not to, have mask mandates in school. Okay, last time I checked, if you're a parent, your kid's well-being is more important than anything else in the world. You see what I'm saying? I can live out of my house. I
That's
can walk.
right.
I can walk to Walmart, grab what I need, and go right back home. I'm not asking to be on a lockdown, but you're putting me in danger every time you're out there not wearing a mask. Just because I've been vaccinated
I agree.
doesn't mean I'm 100% covered. It just means that I won't get sick. But this new variant, man, this variant is nasty. And then the new one coming out right
Oh,
now,
very.
okay, that's running rampant in the state of Oklahoma right now. It is even worse. People are not even surviving it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. This new variant, Delta variant, it is no joke. Okay, in the past few days in the state of Oklahoma, in the city that I live in, which is a very small military town, they have put extra overflow tents outside of the hospitals, and you have a section here where they're putting a trailer outside where people can drive up and get tested. Now, I'm gonna say this, and you've been, everybody's been knowing about this vaccine for the past 18 months. Okay, you may have religious beliefs that tell you, hey, you know what, I can't take that. Fine, we get it. It's your religious beliefs, but understand that sooner or later everybody's going to get this disease, and whether or not you like it or not, it is destroying the minority community in higher numbers. And my concern is my children. So you can choose to what you want to do. That's fine. That's your choice. But don't put me in danger. You see what I'm saying? Be respectful enough to wear a mask. If you don't want to, you don't choose to take it. That's fine. Hey, when the SARS came out, I didn't take the vaccine. When the hantavirus came out, I didn't take the vaccine. I was in the military. Now, I've been injected with stuff that most people will never get in their life. Okay? With smallpox, anthrax, but I'm still here. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm not growing a third eye. And ain't no satellite following me around, guy. You see what I'm saying? So I say this, and that's just my opinion. Is no one else's. Okay? My personal opinion is, if you choose to and you are high risk, that means you have heart issues, high blood pressure, diabetes, go take the vaccine. If you care about your children in your home, go get vaccinated. And if you don't want your kids vaccinated, don't send them to school. Because once they get this new variant, it's killing everybody. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't care. There's they don't care if you're black, blue, yellow, purple, or Republican or Democrat. It doesn't care. You see what I'm saying? I'm just stating the facts. It doesn't care who you are. Now, you can choose to. That's your constitutional right to choose. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? It's up to you. I'm not being callous. I'm just being real. It's killing the minorities of color in higher numbers than any other community. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say this. This is why I say what I'm saying. But otherwise, brother, anything else you want to talk about on the show?
And I do want to, I want to touch bases on that too. Like I totally agree with you because I've still been doing research on it, because I know I was telling a couple of other people that I've been looking into the Moderna, and so there's all kind of stuff that is coming up right now, and it's like I'm doing my research because my thing is you can't tell me that this vaccine is going to help, and then say, well, if you take the vaccine, you're going to get it and you're spreading it. You know what I mean? Because I was watching the clip, or I was watching Biden speak, and Biden was saying, if you get the vaccine, you're more than likely to spread it. And I said, wait a minute. How is that good then? If you know what I mean? So I'm doing my research on this vaccine stuff because me personally, when I was growing up, I got the chicken pox vaccine or whatever it was.
Everybody did that.
I didn't get and I said, okay, I didn't get the chicken pox again. So I said, okay. And so I'm like, okay, if you get this vaccine, then you shouldn't be able to catch anything. So my thing is, either they didn't make this stuff strong enough like they should have, or this is just another form of population
No,
control.
no, no, no,
You
no,
know,
no, no, no,
because
no.
people
Let
don't
me.
understand that the government. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no. Let
Go
me
ahead.
let me dispel some things. Okay, there's a lot of misinformation being sent out there. Okay, there's a lot of right wing media, a lot of they're real savvy on putting this on social media. Okay, so you need to back up just a little bit because I do a lot of research myself. I'm a journalist by trade. Okay, and one of the things I learned while going through journalism school is to research and dig out information. Okay, if you want to learn anything, get on the CDC website, get on all these federal websites and pull the information. There's other the WHO. You can go overseas and pull stuff out. They just put out on these websites for you to read it and do your own research. I advise everybody to research. Okay, I don't. Your thing is great. You can research everything you need to do because you want to be comfortable with making that decision. I get it. Okay, but here's the thing. Some people are putting things out and saying that Biden said this and Biden said that or this and that. I mean, I get it. Okay, I don't listen to the people, and I'm real picky on what I consume. It's called buyer beware. So you got to be careful on what you're listening to and what you're doing. Now, there's stuff out there that's not 100% proof. This vaccine is not 100%. And I'm going to tell you why it's not 100%. Okay. The reason is because it keeps mutating. It's not like a regular cold flu virus. It's just like the flu. It keeps changing every year. They got to make it stronger or get a copy of that so they can change it and modify that. That's how it's going to be. I mean, there's nothing you're going to be able to do, but every year you're going to have to get a booster because this is what this variant, this virus is doing. It's just mutating. And the reason it mutates is because there's people, they have taken the vaccine, I'm sorry, my apologies, have taken the vaccine, and there's people that have not taken the vaccine, okay? And so as they travel, passing this thing around, it keeps changing because how the virus gets in your body is different from how it interacts in someone else's body. You see what I'm saying? You may catch it, and if you may catch it, it doesn't matter whether you're healthy or not, it's how your body handles it, okay? Mm-hmm. You may catch it, and you might not get real sick. You might just get a cold, a little, a little fever, a little aches and pain, and you're good to go. But the next person, it could destroy their, immune system. It could shut down their lungs. It could just give them, pneumonia, and so on and so on. So here's what's happening. So people are leaving the house thinking, oh, I'm cool. I'm okay. They go out to Walmart. They go out to wherever. I'm cool. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm fine. I feel good. You could feel good. You could feel great. Still pass this virus around like nothing happened. Okay. And then when you get home, 10 days later, your wife is sick, your child's sick, and they're dying. They're dying because it mutates. Now that virus has changed 3 different bodies, and now it's back into you, and now you're running around in the streets again. You see what I'm saying? It keeps mutating because nobody has been vaccinated at one time, like they did with the polio vaccine. When the polio vaccine was put out, they made everybody take it. They made every child at their school take it because they trying to mitigate it and kill it. What's happening right now, you got the right-wing media and people who are in government pushing this narrative, oh, don't take it, you're infringing on my freedoms and you're doing this. Yo, man, that's all a line of baloney. Okay, it ain't nothing got to do with your freedom. It's your ignorance or not listening to what you need to do for your health. Okay, I tell people it's your choice. You could do whatever you want, but don't cry when you get it. Don't sit here and go, oh, I should have took it. Duh, we've been telling you this for 18 months now. I'm not an advocate. I don't get paid to promote the vaccine. Look, my podcast is not made for that. My podcast is to inform our communities of color. Okay. So you brought it up. I'm speaking it. Now, if I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody that can answer it for you who has a PhD, who spent the 16 years in school learning this stuff so they can come on this show and break it down to you to the nitty gritty, because I can't. I just know from what I've read and the small research I've done, I have to take it because, and I chose to take it because I am a high risk person. Beyond that, it's everyone's choice. You could do what you want.
Yeah, you're right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the things, brother. I mean, that's one of the things. Now, afflicting our communities of color. Look, you got to look at another situation that's happening. when this pandemic kicked out, how many minority businesses have been destroyed because of this pandemic? Okay. These people are they're shutting down. Doors are being closed. We didn't get the stimulus packages. Half the minority community didn't get those packages. Okay. You got people in Congress who got the stimulus packages and they weren't even running a business. They just got millions of dollars. This is the injustice that I'm looking at. This is the things that I'm looking at, where I'm trying to promote our entrepreneurs in our minority communities, and that's why I started this podcast to teach these kids. Hey, it don't take that kind of money to start a business. But when this pandemic kicked in, man, there's a lot of people went out of business. A lot of people went out of business because they didn't get the stimulus packages. I mean, there's a guy that got about $2-3 million here in this town, and we're like, how you get that? Because he was well connected with somebody who's in Congress. That's why. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a pick and choose game, but that was under that administration. They knew how to play the game to gain that money. All of this is going to come out sooner or later. It might not be now, may not be tomorrow, maybe a year or two from now, or 10 years down the road. All the injustices and the things that were happening in the community because of COVID and all this money that was been put out and sent out. It'll come out. Trust me. We'll see it on the CNN and 2020 and all that. Like, they robbed the coffers or whatever they did. You see what I'm saying? It'll come out.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, it'll come out, brother. Sooner or later, it'll come out.
Oh yeah. All I can say is everything that's being done in the dark is gonna come to the light. That's why I don't really try to get too deep into none of this stuff because whatever is being done is gonna come in. It's gonna come out. Just like I was earlier today. I was kind of showing a video to my kids about the 9/11 attacks, and
welcome to the
all
show.
I could say is, yeah.
I got someone came in on video to the show, so I'm welcoming them to the show.
Okay.
I'm just listening in at the moment. Go ahead, brother.
All right, go ahead, brother, on the phone. On video to the show, so I'm welcoming them to the show. You have to put your headphones on so we don't get a feedback on the show, guy. All right, go ahead, brother, on the phone. On video to the show, so I'm welcoming them to the show. You have to put your headphones on so we don't get a feedback. Oh, go ahead, brother, on the phone.
Oh, and so I was just telling them that I was in high school when that happened. I was it was sad, to see people actually jumping off the building because it was so hot, and I told them, I said this was a tragedy that changed everybody's lives, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like to the point to where you used to, you could go to the airport and not have to worry about a lot. Now when you go to the airport, you gotta get the bag checked and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so the kids, this is something that changed everybody's lives, and it's a very bad. It's a bad day to some people, and it's a sad day, and it's just sad, you know what I mean? But it's a lot, it's a lot that's out there that'll get exposed, and but yeah, other than that, man, I just kind of pray things get better, you know what I mean? I just pray things get better, but we just gotta just keep praying.
Almost definitely. I mean, I have to say is, one of those things, our generation, I'm Generation X, okay? I was born in, the early 70s and everything that's gone down for the past 20 years and all the historical things that have been on, I'm proud that I was here to watch it, but I'm afraid for our next generation, my kids and my kids' kids. I'm worried about how the trajectory of this country is heading. And I'm concerned. I'm very concerned on what's going on. You got to worry about the things that are going on and the things that went down. January 6th was one of those moments for me that made me start this podcast. Okay. It's one of those things that we need to come together as a people, because you'll have a few that still want to continue with that crazy ideology and mentality of the nation. from the 50s, the 40s, back in those days. We want to keep that going and keep feeding that, keep feeding that to their children's children. But you need to understand, racism is not, but you're not born racist. You learn to be racist. You see what I'm saying? And
your thought.
And people just need to understand, we need to come together. We, the people, make the changes. Okay. The people in Washington don't have no power if we don't give it to them. And that's what the people has forgotten for the past 62 years. They've forgotten who they are and forgotten the power that they have. Now, if every American gets up every time there's an election and stands out there, I don't care how many rules they put out there for you not to vote or try to keep you from voting, don't be a punk. Don't go out there and go, oh man, this is too hot. I can't stand out here. Oh, I'm hungry. Oh man, I can't do this. My feet hurt. Man, fuck that. Because people died for your privilege to vote. Okay?
100%.
People wore a uniform and went to foreign lands and fought for your rights that you have. That's why I get mad when people who don't wear a uniform got a nerve to talk mess on social media. And when I ask them, did you wear that uniform? Did you go out there and fight for those rights that you're enjoying? So you can go barbecue on Memorial Day and sit back and drink a beer, your Keystone Light?
Right, pull your card, but never done it themselves.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So I get upset when people say goofy stuff. I get upset when they say things out of their butt without research. People, everything's online now. Go to the Library of Congress online.
Certainly.
Okay, pick up a book, study, learn about your history, learn about how this government works, how we the people can pull the wool off of them and pull them back. All these people who, look, if the president has term limits, why can't Congress people have term limits?
Right.
Why can't our mayors have term limits? Our governors have term limits. Okay? That's all we need to say right there. They have to have terms so that we can have fresh minds, fresh people coming in and changing the status quo. The problem is,
the thing right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, that's the thing right there, where people see the local politics and just don't, it's should I say, they think of it as the wayside. They don't think of it as important at all. And you see where that aspect, is, should I say, in the minority communities are just, it's absent. And you can't sit there and, complain about what's going on when you're not putting in that work to try and be able to make sure things are done. Because back in the day, 60s, 60s, 70s, and they were out there doing that. And from all this, should I say, distractions, should I say, media and things of that nature are not, gearing us towards that type of activism or even trying to do anything. Should I say, nowadays everything's towards hashtags, trying to be more on top of, what's the next cool thing, and then someone putting their money into the situation, not being able to go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, you still on the phone, guy? Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna make this point so you understand, and I'm gonna give you this view so you can understand, so you can catch my analogy on why I use this to understand. So if you go back to the 1990s, okay, hip hop and all the TV shows through the 90s was go to college, listen to music, better your life, open your business, get your degree, do this, do that. The music industry went like this. Whoop, whoop. They changed the channel. Why? Because the music industry got in bed with the private prison system in the hip hop companies who are not controlled by powerful people. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, during the 90s and late 2000s, crime was going down. Crime was going down at an alarming rate, and they were scared. Oh, they're waking up. They're realizing their worth. They're doing this. So what they do? They change the channel. Now they're promoting. Get lean, get high, buy the $20 million bag and car and this and that. But here's the thing they don't teach you in the Black community: how to invest your money, how to put it in banks, how to invest in stocks and bonds and municipal bonds, and do the things that you need to do to better yourself. Now, good example is this. Look at Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, sir.
He also bought a whole city block in Compton, California. You want to sit here and play like, oh, he was killed because he was in the gangs. Nipsey Hussle was not killed because of the gangs. Nipsey Hussle was killed because he was bettering Compton, and they were afraid the Compton property values would go up, and because they got plans for that area, the man was murdered.
And he was calling them out from
Yeah.
the entire time of doing everything. And the thing about it was, he was, should I say, he wasn't up there as in, like, say, you would say like a Drake or a J. Cole or whatever at that level. But at the same time, he was very much underrated because he was doing all of that stuff. And people can't respect what he was actually doing at that moment until he's passed. And, from that point, it's what I wouldn't say wasted, but at the same time, you can't sit there and, inspire that mind until you do something drastic like that. People are not giving them their flowers while he's still alive.
Yeah, and it happens a lot in the music industry. Look at DMX is one of those brothers that I grew up with, and one of his songs hit me deep in here and made me motivate me so hard to achieve what I'm at right now. Okay, and if you ever listen to the song, it's called "Slipping." For those who are out there listening, pull this song up and listen to it. Don't listen to the beat. Don't listen to the hook. Don't listen to any of that. Listen to the lyrics of this man's song. He's telling you a story, and it's a blueprint for all of us to follow to better our lives. Okay, there's a lot of things in that song that hit me here because I lived it. I survived through it. I didn't come from money. I didn't come from silver spoon. I came from the hood, and everything I have achieved, I've done with hard work and stress, sleepless nights, and pulling my hair. You see, I ain't got no hair, but so here's the thing that I'm trying to tell people. Realize that the things are being made. The good example that was ever made, that the point that was ever made was Tupac. Tupac said, it is all a setup and we're not meant to survive it. And it's true. I have verified it and proven it that what he said was true. If you pay attention to how the media, the music industry is being turned upside down right now. You got men, grown ass men running hip hop wearing dresses.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that to me. Now,
it was predicted longer.
You might be a fan. Great. I'm not. Because to me, hip hop was a street thing about what's afflicting our communities of color. And it was a storytelling about getting your stuff together and getting up off your feet, grabbing your bootstraps and making it happen. Nobody's teaching that to this youth right now. Nobody's teaching these kids, hey, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, you can make it. You can step up, you can move forward, and you don't need millions of dollars to do it. You just got to have the strength and the power in your chest and in your mind to achieve the things that you need to achieve. That's why I get upset when I hear young men in the community that I'm living in, which is, a predominantly black state, okay? They put themselves in a position where they're hating themselves for no reason, that they have nothing else but the hood, and the hood is the only thing they know. When they open their minds and open their horizons, there's more out there in that world for you to achieve. There's a hustle in everything that you do, and you can make a hustle out of anything and make the money you need to make. You don't have to clock in for somebody and make them rich.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it. You can get mad at me. You can shoot me an email if you want to. I don't care. I'm going to tell you how it is. You make your own destiny. If you move yourself out of your own way, you can achieve everything you need to achieve for yourself if you just put the effort into it. And I'm proof of that.
100%. Sure. And that's where I try to, I work for a boys group home, and being the fact that I am, 26 going on 27, but that being the case, like you said, and with DMX, there's a lot of things that, and with that song Slipping and Falling, that, that do resonate with me, and understanding that there's still more to come. There's all types of distractions out here, and there's all types of lives that we can live. And, I didn't grow up in that aspect of, being in the hood and doing all that type of stuff. But, should I say in this generation, given the fact of, there's, once you fall off to a certain extent, there's all this social media, should I say, in regards to Instagram, Facebook, you're seeing all these other people doing things, and, it's demoralizing to an extent. and that's where you start to fall into that should I say street shit and all that. And that's where, should I say, about 2 years ago, I don't know, something clicked for me, and getting myself out of that atmosphere and around away from those type of people. You don't see what is possible in that aspect. You don't see anything. And once you actually open that door to that, man, and you hit the ground running. You don't know where you're gonna go, but you just know you gotta move. And that's what a lot of people don't click. It just doesn't click. And we need that push on them. But at the same time, it's so much out there to be able to get that message to them and be real enough. Because a lot of people feel like they don't give a damn. Yeah.
See, and the problem is, this is one of the things. I growing up in during the late 80s, 90s, and there was all these community leaders. Anytime anything happened in the community, they were out there stepping, walking, doing whatever they need to do. I have not seen none of our community leaders do anything at this point, because here's the thing: they're collecting millions of dollars and they don't want to mess up their little money. That's the problem. We don't have no real leaders right now. And the leaders that we got, we're not giving them their due respects out there. Okay. And I get upset because of that. I get upset because they sit there. Good example, Al Sharpton, making them millions of dollars. He's doing his TV show. He don't care about what's going on in the community. He may come out there just because, hey, look at me, I'm still relevant. But is he going to put himself in a position where he can lose his TV show? No. Okay, you got millions of dollars of people, people in positions of power who do minor things in the community, but they're not out there full time. I get upset because of that. That's one of the things I get upset. You see what I'm saying? I get upset that we have people who want to become leaders and we're not giving them their power. We're not helping them move forward. We're not helping them with their programs, because we're looking at it as, oh, they're doing better than me. I don't want to help them. And we're supposed to be doing business. I say this: if you know a business, you're doing business, mentor somebody, and your contract with that person is, if I mentor you, you become successful, you mentor someone else. That's my contract with me. You see what I'm saying? And it's so on and so on. Pay it forward. Right. Don't look at your brother or your sister in a weird way of saying, oh, you're doing better than me. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I tell people. Do yourself a favor and sit back. Observe someone in your community who's doing business. Ask them if you can shadow them. Watch them. Learn from them. Take notes. Ask questions. Learn. How did you do this? That's what I did. I didn't have to sit out here and beg somebody. I just say, hey, can I ride with you? Can I intern with you? Can I learn from you? Can I do this from you? Then I used that skill, added it into my toolbox, and used it with my other skills that I had, and continue moving forward. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's and that's the thing that I had to start to develop is getting that sponge back. In my head, of being able to take in that information and willingly being able to do that and, apply it, in different aspects of my life, but, creating that character of that mindset of, getting out there to do it on your own. And, it might feel dry out there, might feel, crazy, but at the same time, I got to that point where I know I got it now. And getting to that point is where, everyone feels lost. And, that's where, like you said, you need the mentorship. You need that, that steady conversation.
Right. Hey, you want to say something there, brother, on the phone? Oh, he ended the call.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm sorry, brother, on the phone. I didn't mean to leave you there and you ended the call there, but I apologize. But, we're hitting a moment here where we need to realize some things in America that, we need to come together. We need to mentor our youth, teach our youth, put them out there so they can learn business. Yeah, it's not being taught to us. We need to sit there, pick up the book, and realize what's really going on, and realize what's going on in the world, and understand that, we're not being taught this stuff in school anymore. I remember when I was going to school, they were teaching economics. They were teaching how to, stocks and bonds and things like that. And I kind of looked at it like, oh, this is an ancient Chinese secret. Well, what the heck am I supposed to do here? But
Right.
I learned enough that at my old age, I realized, hey, I need to invest in myself. This is where the money's at. You see what I'm saying? This is where, America runs on, the economy runs on. So I tell people, do your thing. Learn something. Sit with somebody. If you're good at something, make it a business. And it's not work for you. You know what I'm saying? Make it a business. If you know how to sew, sew. If you know how to do construction, do construction. Learn something where you can make money at it. Okay. One of the biggest millionaires around here is construction people. Okay. There's garbage people making almost $100,000 a year driving a truck. Okay. Doesn't matter how you make your money. Make your money. Learn how to make a business out of nothing. It's out there. They're just not teaching it to you. They're not telling you how to do it. That there's ways to make money. And I get upset that you have all this technology now and people just sit here being homeless. They don't choose to be homeless because they choose to be homeless. There's some that got mental issues. There's some people that just, giving up on themselves. A good example is people that go to prison. They make it so hard for these brothers and sisters to get back into society because they put all these loopholes on them when it shouldn't be. If you serve your time in prison, you're done.
Right.
Okay, you're done. Go, let them go to college. Let them vote. Let them do what they need to do to better themselves. Make them, make them better in the society. Make them go, be good citizens. But America makes it so hard. I don't know what it is about, helping people get back on their feet. I mean, pay your taxes. They'll pay their taxes and take care of the economy. But there's people now that don't care.
Right. Like the America used to be, and the ones that enjoyed the underdog story. And that's not so much anymore. Like, should I say it's massive blowups nowadays. But, in that regards to each one, teach one, that's not so much nowadays. People I see nowadays, like, should I say, Instagram. People are doing courses and things like that. They're giving out their stuff, for services, which is understandable. But I see a lot of people now say, like Eric Thomas, he says all the time, give that free content so that you can build value within the community. And that's the whole thing about that. The people in my generation are looking to get that quick buck off of that and not trying to create value in the market to be able to, better themselves and also create that exposure for themselves. Because, at the end of the day, it's not going to generate if there's nothing that's actually, tangible to that. You're not proving anything.
Yeah, well, the other thing that I find interesting that I watch on Instagram sometimes, or my news feed on Facebook sometimes, is I find it hilarious that people will post all their personal information, all their lives, or what they're going through. They're fighting with their girlfriend. They're doing all this. They're like, this is entertaining, really? You letting everybody know how you really living in your domestic life? Does that make any sense? I mean, they air their things on social media like it's okay. I find it amazing that people do that. I mean, it's like, wow, you really do. But there's companies that pay for that. If you pay attention, I'm gonna tell you what I tell people to do this sometimes, and they trip on me because I say it the way I say it. But get on your social media while you're watching a TV show and Google something that comes on TV, and watch 20 minutes later, it keeps coming on your feed.
Yeah.
Constant. They know everything about you and how you do it. You may sit here, I don't want the government to give me an injection and all that. Let me tell you something. They're watching you 24/7. It's not even the government. It's corporations. Because America is not a production country anymore. They don't produce a damn squat nothing. It's been outsourced. America is all consumers. So everything that you watch, if you walk through Walmart and your cell phone goes off, 15% off on this. Well, guess what? There's a computer in the ceiling that knows that your feed on your phone is open, and it sends you a message to say, hey, go to aisle 26. There's toothpaste for 95 cents less.
Right.
Okay? You're being manipulated. Everything that you do is being manipulated. People that create ads. This is what I learned in college when I was learning about, social media, journalism. Right. And one of the books I find interesting is that they use more psychologists to make commercials than any other industry.
Right.
They know how to manipulate you in every million ways.
Sure, to the smallest degree too. Like just the eye twitch to you looking at the screen, just like.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like when you scroll on your phone, they know how many minutes you're spending on a picture or you watching a video. They know everything, so they factor that into everything that you're doing. It's one of those things that I just find interesting, and I find it where we don't do what we need to do. Now, here's another thing that I find interesting. In the IT industry, there's not that many minorities in it.
No.
But why? I asked that to a friend who's in the IT industry. He wouldn't answer the question. Why is it there's no minorities in this industry? It's either people from India or Anglo-Saxon. There's no minorities. And if there are, it's because they own their own companies.
Right. See, in that aspect, they can do whatever they want when they're getting paid to do it.
Yeah. When it comes to like IT security and all that, there's minorities trying to get into this field. There's people that spent 6-7 years in the industry trying to get in. They won't let them in.
Right.
Why? Because they know what they're doing. Okay, this is what I've been told. Now, I'm not saying that just to say somebody's told me that's why they're doing what they're doing, because they don't want you to know what they're doing in there. That's why Facebook cannot be regulated like the government wants to regulate it. It's entwined in United States society now. You can't shut it down. You're gonna have a revolt.
Sure, like you don't got a Facebook, like what?
You know what I'm saying? You don't have a Facebook. Like, that's why I say if tomorrow the internet dies, oh man, we're gonna have issues. The psychology industry is gonna be a multi-billion-dollar industry in 3 days.
See, and that's my thing that I've observed, given I worked in the group home, pre-pandemic and currently right now, but, seeing from when they were, in school and just this, should I say Generation Z, that being the case, I've seen them just taking away their phones or the game for just a short time, and they just go erratic after about an hour. And it's insane. And I'm just like, shoot, like I remember, like how my brother was back in the day playing the game till it damn near smoked. But that being the case, we had that time. We're going outside. We're doing our thing. We're having fun, at least playing football, doing something, constructive and building our minds. But nowadays, they're just been inside. And given the fact that, some of them coming into maturity, they don't know how to feel about things. And there's all these emotions, all of this stuff going on. Everyone's just, should I say, a volcano to explode, after just an hour and a half of just not being on their phone.
I mean, you got to look at it like this, and with this pandemic, a lot of people went out and bought this outrageous Xbox, the PS2s and all these video games, and they've been stuck indoors, and they're like, do I want to go back to work? No. But the government's about to shut all that down, people. Y'all better get learning how to go back in the sun.
Right.
Figure out how to get back to work and be sociable again. Because y'all been playing social through social media. See, now you got to do it face to face.
Sure.
A lot of people are not going to be able to handle that. They're not going to.
True that. And that's one thing, should I say, for my generation and a little bit older, that it's been an advantage to us to everyone being home, to be honest. And now that things are going out a little bit, we're understanding and seeing everything that's been going on for a while now, just having everything being on pause. And I guess that's why the should I say, the unemployment's been going down and so much. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, been flying up. I apologize. Because, everyone's just starting to understand like the certain jobs they have, the things that they have to deal with on the day-to-day basis. It's just not cool. And, but I see in that aspect where they're trying to stop the unions and for the most part.
Yeah, and I don't. They trying to. I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, the union's pretty powerful, but America is changing. I mean, this is the thing people need to realize. America is changing, and there's no stopping it. People think that they can go back to the 50s, 60s, and 40s, and it ain't going to happen. This generation is not going to go back to that. Ain't nobody going to bow down anymore to the ideology of those days. You know what I'm saying? The Jim Crow eras. Ain't nobody going to stand up to that anymore. No. You're not going to stand there and go, okay, you can, beat me or do what? No, man. America is changing, and you either get on the bus and ride and just deal with it and conform, or you're just going to die with the old people. Exactly. This mentality in America has changed. People are doing what they want to do. You've noticed there's a lot of millionaires, billionaires coming up, okay, because they learned the game. They know how to play this game. But the problem is that we need to teach our kids. We don't teach our kids the value of investing, the value of saving money, or the value of the dollar for them to say, hey, when you turn 18, you're comfortable, you're good enough to do what you need to do. If you don't teach them that, they're going to falter. It's just like those kids who are born to, money. If tomorrow they lose it all, what are they going to do? They're going to go crazy because they don't know nothing else but to, drive their fancy BMW or living real nice, but this is America. America makes it so that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, however you want to achieve it, whenever you want to achieve it. It's up to you. That's what they call it, the American dream. But the American dream is not for everybody. The game is not rigged for everybody to play the game. This is like the Monopoly game. You either got the knowledge or you don't have the knowledge to play the game. And a lot of people in the inner cities don't know the game because they're not being taught that anymore. A lot of that stuff is being pulled out of school. They're not even teaching kids how to write checkbooks anymore, how to balance their books anymore. They're not teaching them nothing. If you don't pick up a book, I'm sorry, you're not going to understand nothing. And nowadays, if it's not on Google, ain't nobody going to research nothing.
Right, you're shit out of luck. What's a library nowadays?
There's not like when I was growing up, Encyclopedia Britannica sitting behind your desk. You know what I'm saying? These kids don't want to even pick up a book. And if someone picks up a book, it's because they've been trained for that. They've been taught, hey, you need to read. You need to get better at this. But like I keep saying, if you don't pick up a book, you don't study, you don't understand what you're reading, you're signing contracts and not paying attention to the fine line on the bottom, you're getting screwed out of millions. Look at some of this music industry people. Oh, they get on their music videos and, I got this Bentley and I got this. All that stuff is leased. A music artist doesn't make any money to their junior record. Because in the first 2 records, they're paying all the loans they paid, all the advances they paid to make that record.
Exactly.
I think I teach people, the music industry is 95% business, 10% music. They don't get it. It's a game. It's like everything else. It's a game. Just like us being right now on social media doing this and able to do. Somebody's making money somehow. You see what I'm saying? Somebody's making that money because I can't be online unless I'm paying for software.
Right.
Or paying for internet. You see what I'm saying? So.
And that's the crazy part.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and I was just recently watching the Hulu series, the Wu-Tang, and just saying, and also just other movies, should I say, because that's not my time. I wasn't there for all of that. But that being the case, just seeing the pattern of what's going on, there's a lot of people that made a lot of money that weren't even the artists, and that being the case, I've seen, he had his on Raza, should I say, Prince Rakeem at the time, got his brother to be able to get into those books and understand what's going on in the industry so he can be able to help him out. And that's one thing I guess when you're speaking about the books, that's segued into my last question because I'm about to get going in a second. But what are your top 5 books that you, for my generation, should be reading right now? Right now, I mean, I say like this. One of the biggest books that you need to understand is the Constitution. I mean, that's not a book, but it's a thing. You need to learn the Constitution. You need to know the laws. You need to be able to understand who you're interacting with when you get out there in the street. As a black male in America, you need to know the law first and foremost, because there's too many things that are being played out here with the police department trying to document you at every angle in your life. Okay, you could be driving a nice car. You may have the insurance. You might have the car right. All they have to do is go out there and you don't know the law and they pull you over. First thing they want to do is search your car, go through this, go through that. And you don't know the law and you're ignorant to the law. They can manipulate you and do whatever they need to do to you and accuse you of something that you don't do. So you need to know how to interact with the police. So learn the Constitution, especially the 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th Amendment of the Constitution. Read those very clearly. Okay, and understand them inside out, and learn the statutes in your own state so you can understand, how the law changes from state to state. Okay, because some laws may apply in one state, may not apply in another. But federal law is different, and a cop may tell you and lie to you and say, "Well, federal law doesn't supersede state law." Like I had a cop here say to me, and I said to him,
You're talking to the wrong guy. I have a degree in criminal justice. Back up a little bit, guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I ate him alive a little bit. That's just me. I'm just trying to do it. But that's one thing you need to do. The other one you need to do, you need to learn contract law. If you're going to get into business, read a book on contract law. Okay. I sat down. You can check these out at any library or buy the book on Amazon or wherever. I mean, I'm not advocating for Amazon, but I'm just saying you can buy that. You see what I'm saying? So learn those books. Now, the other one is learn history, especially history in your community. Learn about business in your community. Learn about, things that going on. I mean, I pick up books like right now. I order some books for me because I'm trying to brighten my horizon here. So I picked up books on, history. One is, the speeches by Martin Luther King, speeches by Malcolm X, speeches by, different people, like Marcus Garvey, and so on and so on. So I can understand what was going on then, so I don't repeat those things now. You see what I'm saying? If you don't read, you're not going to learn anything. Okay. If you don't, the brain and knowledge is a perishable thing. And if you're not using it, it's sitting idle. It ain't worth crap. You see what I'm saying? Just because you're going to I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this as clear as I can. You can go to college. You can read every book in college. You can do whatever. You could get a degree and slap it on the wall. It doesn't make you any smarter. It's what you do with that knowledge that makes you who you are. Okay? And on top of that, for you to open a business, you don't need a college degree. You just got to know, you got to have the will and the power and the knowledge to learn how to open that business. So somebody has to mentor you and teach you how to open a business.
Right.
You don't need the money like that. A lot of people make it seem like, I got to have millions of dollars. No, you don't. You can start a small business out of your house selling t-shirts. You can, you can sell t-shirts out of your car, get a peddler's license, do a thrift store, out of your car for a little while. Just hang it up somewhere, go to a swap meet, do something, get started, save your money, and then use that money, flip it, and open a real business with that. You see what I'm saying? It's just how you do it. But if somebody's teaching you this, no. Is your family aware of what they're teaching you? No. You got family members that will see you making, achieving things, and they down you for it. Or they say, don't do that because it's too hard. Just understand, there's always going to be someone in your life that's going to try to bring you down because you're trying to do better for yourself. And it happens in every part of society. I don't care if you're living in, 90210 zip code, or Scottsdale, Arizona, or Brooklyn, New York. You see what I'm saying? Down in South Beach. You see what I'm saying? Or down in Compton. You see what I'm saying? When somebody sees you trying to achieve better, they either trying to gain from you or try to keep you from doing what you need to do. And what you need to do is say, back off. I'm doing mine. You don't have to destroy him. You don't have to disrespect him. You just keep doing what you're doing. Keep your dream to yourself and keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So this is the right people. If you have the knowledge like me, I have a business knowledge. I push it out. I give it to people. Because why? What am I going to do keeping that from somebody? If I know how to open a business and I can teach you how to open a business, I'm going to give you the knowledge. Now, if I give you the knowledge and you don't do nothing with it, that's on you. You see what I'm saying? I can't make you open a business. I can just teach you how not to make certain mistakes. You see what I'm saying? So that's the things I try to explain to people. Do the things that you need to do. Learn the things you need to learn. Can't nobody keep you from what you need to do because you're the ultimate person that gets in the way of yourself. Will Smith said that. You want to achieve anything in life? He put it in his book. He even talked about it on Facebook. Move yourself away from yourself so you can achieve the goals that you need to achieve.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's one thing. Okay. And I'm saying that's one thing I'm looking towards right now, and I'm just doing should I say a 180 in regards to how my mental is, because overall I've been using social media for all the wrong reasons. I've been, I have my own streaming channel, doing all that stuff, and my focus is not where it needs to be, and that's where I'm looking to get back onto. And I'm just noticing a lot of people are on that same type of trajectory where they're just not focusing. Should I say just my generation specifically?
It's not just your generation. Let me. I don't mean to cut you off. So yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna use me as an example. Okay, at your age, I have so many things, too many eggs in too many baskets. I was pushing on with here. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. I look back, 20 years passed, and still have nothing going on. Okay, so when I woke up and realized something, stop. I'm good at one thing. and I'm gonna focus on that thing. And I put all the energy on one thing, and it clicked just like that. But it came with hard work, sleepless nights, pain and suffering. See what I'm saying? Blood, sweat, tears. But when it hit and when it made it, I need for nothing. I don't need nothing because I made what I have make it happen. Okay. Now, the way I achieved it was hard. I worked 2 jobs. I worked over the weekends. I joined the Army. I used what I gained from the Army and gained knowledge from the Army. And then I got a college degree through the Army. They paid for it. I wasn't born to money. I didn't have a college fund. I used the money from the Army. Why? Because, hey, we're going to send you to the Army. You get so many thousands of dollars to go to college and get your GI Bill. Great. Cool. Bam. Bet. So what I do, I got my college degree. In the middle of me getting my college degree, I needed to do what I need to do to learn my business. So what I do, I sat with someone, learned the business, had a notebook, started writing down. So how do you do this? How do you do that?
Right.
What happens if you do this? And you write it down. I don't care what industry you're in. There's someone that's willing to teach you.
Right.
Are you willing enough to face the embarrassment or face that? No. All they can say is no. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to hurt you. For you to walk up on somebody and say, hey, can I learn from you?
Right.
If they say no, move to the next person because someone will do it because they're willing to do it.
That reminds me of Les Brown.
You see what I'm saying? There's always someone trying to teach someone. There's always a mentor, but you don't know if they're a mentor if you don't ask. If you don't show the eagerness to go out there and achieve what you want to achieve, and you give up on yourself, what are you doing? This is what I try to teach kids. When I speak to kids, when I'm out here in the street, I talk to kids and I teach them. Never think can't. It's not in your vocabulary.
Right.
You can achieve anything you want to achieve. I don't care what people say. Oh, give that up. You're not going to make it to. Hey, look, not everybody's going to be a freaking astronaut. Not everybody's going to be a doctor. Not everybody's going to be, a billionaire like Bill Gates. And, ain't nobody going to do all of that. But if you want to open a business, you want to be able to pay your bills. You want to be able to achieve what you want to achieve and live comfortable. You don't have to be rich, filthy rich. You want to live comfortable. Because not everybody's going to be a baller. Okay, it's not in the cards for everybody. But you can put yourself in a position where you're making at least 6 figures a year, or making $60,000 a year, where you're comfortable. You can maintain. You can have an apartment, a nice car, and be able to go on vacation.
Right.
And
you put yourself in your own lane.
Keep yourself on your own lane. You don't put yourself out thinking, a lot of kids, I hear this a lot. Well, I want to be like such and such, and I want to be like such and such on TV. I want to be, I don't know, these newfangled rappers, that, got all these things going on. I tell people, don't look at that. Okay. All half that stuff is all leased. Okay. All that is smoke and mirrors, guy. Okay. That man sat out there for 6-7 years trying to get in the industry. When he got into the industry, they got to make him look like this so that people can buy that record. So that's why they make the nice little music video and make it look like, he's living in this $20 million mansion and the dude's still living in an apartment down on Bel Air. You see what I'm saying? Come on. Realize you're being fooled, bamboozled half the time when you see this music video. Okay. Now you sit back. You know who you should check out? Rick Ross. Go online and Google Rick Ross. You want to learn about business? Talk to Rick Ross.
Right.
Talk to an investor. Okay. He just got money and invested it. Sure. And he did it right. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You got other people. You got other rappers who invested. Dre is another one. Okay. Look at Jay-Z, Beyonce. Look at them. They invested in a lot of things. Okay. Because they did the right thing. They went to the right people. They sat down with the right people and they taught them what to do, how to do it. That man ain't got no college degree to do all that. He was taught all that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Now, look at P. Diddy ran around in New York with a notebook, handwritten business plan until somebody gave him the chance.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But he was hungry. You have to be hungry. You have to work hard. It doesn't happen overnight. You
Sure
can't give
does.
up. You can't. The hustle's hard. Being out here is hard. The streets are hard, and it's even harder nowadays than it is when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Okay, your generation is harder for you. There's too many obstacles nowadays for these kids.
Mhm.
And if you don't have a high school diploma, you don't have a college degree, because everything nowadays is documented on every database throughout the United States and the world. So if you get yourself in trouble while you're in high school, you got a parking ticket or you got some kind of charge. So when you go out to the bank or you go somewhere, they're going to pull that record up and go, you're not credit worthy. Your credit ain't worth crap. And that's another thing. They don't teach your generation or my generation about credit. Credit
See,
is
I'm learning this right now.
Credit is one of the most important things you have to have in life for this America, this society now. Credit is one of the biggest things. I don't care if you have millions. If your credit is 100% cool, you can get whatever the heck you want. But can you pay for it? That is the question.
Right.
And a lot of kids need to understand that your credit is very important. You can destroy it real easily, but to fix it, it's a nightmare.
Right.
It's a
Right.
nightmare. So let me say this real quick.
Mhm.
If you're listening, welcome to Community Power Radio. I'm your host, Big Chino. We're just having a discussion. It's just an open discussion. There's no topic today. The gentleman that was supposed to be on did not make it. So we're going to reschedule that for him to come on next week. But if you want to come on, the link's on there. You can click on the link, come on, or you can give the call at 702-879-5277 if you want to add your 2 cents about the world, or you want to talk about September 11, or you want to talk about something that it's important for your community. You want to promote something in your community, come on. You have an event, something positive, come on the show.
I did want to bring up what's it called? King Swift though. I do want to say about that is because I've been with him since the beginning. I was one of the first people he ever cut hair off of in general. So I do want to say he's one of the best barbers out here in Phoenix. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna lie about that. Back in the day, he even cut a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the back of my head perfectly. I was about 7, 8 years old, and he's still as good as today. And being working in the shops with him, going out in the trenches with him, being there from 8 a.m. till 10 at night, well before they opened, well after they closed. I was getting that business done, so he gets his work in. So he respects everybody and takes his time on everybody and gets what needs to be done for sure.
Oh, most definitely. I wish the brother was on. And I'm gonna put this out here for y'all to see. This is how you can contact King Swift. Okay, at any time you give him a call, make an appointment, go out there, reach the man out, get your hair cut. You're gonna learn something about history. You want to learn something about yourself. Just talk to the man. Go call the man, make an appointment. Okay, he's located at 4142 East Chandler Boulevard in Phoenix. Go check him out. The brother is phenomenal with the hair. He does his thing. You guys should go check him out in Phoenix and make an appointment. Hey, you just contact the League Barbershop. There's a whole bunch of dudes there that can do you right. So go out to Phoenix, Arizona. If you're out in the Phoenix area, contact the League Barbershop.
Sure.
You can Google them.
Yeah, and the great barbershop as well. I do want to say about the league as well. He gave me, the owner of the league gave me an opportunity to work with them over on their location over on Thomas and 15th Avenue. I worked there for about 2 or 3 years before 14, 15 years old, and I was taking the bus every day. But he was paying me good money to clean up the shop and do all that. But he mentors people and gives them opportunities to be able to do what you need to do as a minority and as a black man in general, to see what it's like to be able to make money, and do it in a positive way. So I do like to say, everyone out there, this is a black-owned business that is good for the community, and and welcome to everybody. So go ahead and check them out.
Oh, most definitely. Look, you need to support your black community, your black-owned businesses. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're Mexican, Chinese, European. I don't care. If you have a minority business, okay, support your businesses. Even if it's Chinese food, go support them. Okay, they're the bread and butter of your community. Okay, so I don't care who you are. You have a business in the inner city. You need to get support. Come on the podcast. Okay. You getting started, come on the podcast. Okay. You need to get the traffic into your business, come on the podcast. I'll have you come on and you sell yourself here. Okay. Because the radio stations ain't trying to do all that, trying to help you without advertising. Okay. You can do all the Instagram, all the Facebook posts, all you want. If you want to come on and sell yourself, come on the podcast and I'll have you on here for free. Okay. And you can discuss everything you need to do in the inner city. Even if you need to talk about what's going on, what events are coming in the community, you're doing something for the youth, you're running a baseball league, softball league, whatever you need to do. We need to promote this in our communities because the inner city is being promoted like it's all bad all the time. It's always shootings and all this. Like, let me tell you something. There's more to the inner city than what you think. And if you go out there and pay attention, it is not as dangerous as you think. The media makes that look like that. Okay, they make it look like that because one of the taglines they used to teach us in journalism school was if it bleeds, it leads. That's what they used to teach us all the time. Let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. It ain't like that. Okay, I lived in Brooklyn, New York, in the hood. Okay, and I moved to Sacramento, California, in the hood. I lived in Oakland for a little while, in the hood. Mm-hmm. It ain't like what it is. Yeah, you got bad situations, you got things that happen. But it ain't like that, man. There's pretty good people in the community, just like the crap that's going on. Oh, minorities, Let me tell you something. If tomorrow America throws out all the minorities out of America, they'll go hungry. Right. Ain't nobody else going to be out there picking up strawberries at 75 cents a pound. Ain't nobody going to do any of those things.
Mm-hmm. Work the call centers, do all that.
Look at my nails. Oh, my God. Get out of here, man. Come on. Mm-hmm. Come on.
Shoot, as soon as there's not someone to troubleshoot your phone over the phone, you're sitting there going crazy.
Come on. Okay. America cannot run because America is a diverse community. Okay. It cannot run without its minority population. Okay. And nobody hears 100% nothing. So can't nobody say, oh, I'm the majority and you guys are minorities. Hello. We're all minorities. Okay. The only 100% anything here are the Native Americans of this nation who should get a lot of credit and respect because this is their nation. That's all I got to say. If you don't like it, come on the show and prove me otherwise. I'm your host, Big Chino. Prove me wrong.
All right, but I'm out of here. It's been good being on the show. I'm glad everything is getting going. I hope, great things come on with this. And, we'll get some great topics going forward. I'll definitely be popping in.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I appreciate you coming on the show. I greatly appreciate it. And those who came on, the gentleman that came on the phone a little while ago, I apologize once again. I didn't mean to cut you off and you ended the call. If you want to come on the show next time, come this Sunday. I'm going to be discussing, the 2020 election. I'm going to be discussing this in length. Okay. We need to realize one thing, the power of the vote. Okay. I don't care who you are, whether you're black, blue, yellow, purple, or green. Our vote counts in this nation. Don't let these people feed you this line of crap that your vote don't count. It does count. Even if local elections count, everything in the community counts. At this point and at this time, in this era, after the 2020 elections, our vote counts. So once again, I thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you coming on the show, putting in your 2 cents and asking questions. Excuse me. And if you have any other questions, shoot me an email. Give me a call. I'm here for you to try to help you. If I can't help you, I'll find someone that can come on and teach you what you need to learn about business.
For sure. Everybody, for sure, listen out because we're gonna be there and definitely giving out that good information. So, all right, you guys. I'll see y'all later.
Peace. So this is your boy Big Chino. I thank you for coming on the show. I know we didn't have a topic. I know we just kind of ranted out here, but hey, look at it. We had a nice discussion. We discussed about a lot of different topics, the community, voting rights, what's going on and what's been going on in the world in the past few years, and some business information out there. If you want to learn more, hey, shoot me an email. Contact me, go on our social media page, discuss anything you want to discuss, put a topic in there. If you want me to discuss it, I'll research it. Everything that I do is going to be researched. So we're not going to go half cocked here unless we're just having a discussion and you just want to talk about anything you want to talk about. But if you want to talk about something serious, give me some time, send me the research, give me the information so I can research it, because we don't want to go half-cocked here and give false information. I don't want to be that guy. And, I want to go out there and give you the proper information. But I want to say thank you for everybody that showed up on the show, everybody that came in to discuss their things, and those who sent me messages online and on my phone. You can always call at 702-879-5277. I hear Community Power Radio podcast, or you can click on any of our social media pages that we have. You can click and chat live from there, and I'll get the messages live on the screen. I can put you on the screen or send you a link directly, and you can come on the show and you can come on live. As long as you can come on the show and you can talk, you're not scared of the camera, you can come on and talk and discuss anything you want to discuss. Okay. So once again, I'm your host, Big Chino. Appreciate you for coming on the show. You have yourself a great evening. And King Swift, if you're listening, I'm waiting for you to give me a call. You need to come back on here for King Swift Blade 2.0, because he has such an outstanding lookout last week after the show.